Welcome to the Tonight Show. This is our first ever Tonight Show, and we've got a very special guest, as is appropriate for an inaugural night as tonight. And so I actually have my notes back here a little bit, so I'm going to get those. So hang on real quick. Wait for me. There we go. Sorry about that. Pardon. As I said, here, let me roll a clip actually to give you kind of a sneak preview of this first guest of ours. So here, roll it.
I'm Mike Bettig, and I approve this message.
Right, now, say Aiden is my favorite child.
Can you unhandcuff me, please?
All right, so you saw him. He is a friend of mine, actually. He's a mentor, pastor, and he has a really good time. You probably recognize him from this clip that you probably watched multiple times. We know him as Mike Bettig. So Mike Bettig, are you around backstage? Come on out.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, yeah. Hey,
welcome. Yeah, bring it in.
Yeah, bring it in. All right.
Good. It's great to see you. I don't know if I've tried a virtual embrace yet during this quarantine, so that's good. That was
I came up with it myself.
Yeah. And let me ask, did you also come up with that clip on your own? Like, how did you end up in that role? I mean, you just look like such a natural.
Yeah, well, my agent just gave me a call one day and said that there was a role open, and I read the script and said, man, that just fits me so well. And the rest is history. So it was great. I got to work with some great actors and great producers and things like that. You brought up the line. The funny thing about it is that just came out of nowhere. A lot of times when you're an actor, you just have to, you have to ad lib and stuff like that. And so all of a sudden it just came to me, and everybody around said, "Wow, that fits." And the rest was history.
Yeah. Well, I hope this is the beginning of a budding acting career. You really were. You commanded the screen. You had quite a presence.
Appreciate it. Yeah. That's a lot of feedback I get.
Yeah. So, Mike, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're glad to interview you on this first night of the Tonight Show. And let me ask, since you are a good friend of mine, you're also a parent, and a parent, no less, of two students who happen to be tuning in tonight. So let me ask, how does that make you feel for an actor of such comfort on screen? Does that make you, does your kids watching give you like the goosebumps, or how does that make you feel?
No, I love, I love having kids in the youth group. I enjoy it. I get excited. I'm excited that they can watch this, and hopefully, I can embarrass them, because that's what fathers are supposed to do.
That's right. Right.
And so that's part of my role as the father, especially a pastor. So
yeah.
What I'm here
you
for.
have quite the burden to make sure you embarrass them well.
Yeah.
So we won't make you share any embarrassing stories right yet. But you mentioned youth group, and one thing that students, viewers might not know is that you actually grew up in this youth group years ago. So tell us about those times. Try to take us there. What was youth group like? Who was the pastor? What do you do?
Yeah. So basically, a long time ago, before the wheel was invented, there was such a thing as youth group. Actually, it's before internet. So it was kind of a long time ago, it seems like. But I was a freshman in high school, and I started attending youth group. And the pastor back then was none other than Pastor Jeff Dryden.
Jeff Dryden?
Jeff Dryden. He was the youth pastor back then. He was my youth pastor. So it was great. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, times were different back then. What were some of the crazy memories you have of being a youth in youth group under Pastor Jeff Dryden?
Yeah, it was a blast. We had a lot of fun. So I'll share one story. I don't think I've shared it before, but what we used to do darts, not darts, but like Nerf wars before they were actually Nerf guns. They were the plastic darts that, you can lick the tips and they stick to the windows.
Not throwing darts.
Not throwing darts, not with the metal tips, although that would have been cool also. So you might want to think about that one for your next event.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and there wasn't like semi-automatic Nerf guns or fully automatic Nerf guns. You basically had 3 of those little plastic darts, and you just went around and try to shoot each other with them. It was pretty fun. But I remember one night, and so we would always do it at night. We would do it at the church with the lights off. And I remember one night we were kind of in the gym, and Jeff was trying to ambush us or something. And what he back then, the balcony went all the way across. The youth room was not there. It was all Sunday school rooms. Okay, so the balcony hallway went all the way across, and there was one door that would open the opposite way. It wouldn't open in, but it opened out. And basically what happened was it was a little bit open. And what Jeff did was he was down at the flight of stairs. He turned on the lights, turned them off really quick, thinking that he was going to confuse us. Then he goes bolting up the stairs and then bolting across the balcony. And he didn't realize that door was halfway open. And he slammed right in the center of that door as it was half open. And it hit him so hard, he says that he almost fell off the balcony. But he hit so hard that he was done for the night. We were about 5 minutes into the night, and he was absolutely done. It rung his clock. And I brought it up to him a couple of times lately, and he doesn't remember.
Of course not.
So, of course not, right? Because he got hit so hard. I'm sure he doesn't remember anything before that night. But anyways, we would do fun things like that. I remember we had a water fight at his house, and he actually grabbed one of my buddies and held him hostage. He had him tied down to a chair, and and we were trying to save him. And of course, he's got buckets of water. He's got the hose out, dousing us down as we're trying to save our friend. So he was a fun youth pastor. So here's one of the principles that you need to hear about.
Yeah.
That was helpful. That's kind of what he shared with us. One of his rules was, if a student did something to you, you have to get him back 10 times worse.
10 times.
And basically, yes, 10 times worse. And it basically is prohibits them from, coming after you. And so that's, he would too, man. If you went after him about something, or you did something to him, boy, he would get you back 10 times worse. So we learned never to mess with them.
There's some principles there, right? That they have to be learning. A retribution principle, some kind of justice. Yeah, exactly. I think that can be justified. That's good.
There you go.
Well, hey, one thing we like to do with guests is we like to play a couple games with them, and so the game that I thought we would play with you, Mike, is called Think Fast. And so the way this game works is Mike and we're going to take turns asking each other questions, simple questions, but the goal is to answer as fast as you can. So the first thing that comes to mind, it doesn't have to make sense. If it is off the walls, it's the first thing in your head. So that goes. Okay, does that make sense to you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So since you're the guest, I'll ask you questions first. I'll let you. Okay. I'll let you do that, and then we'll go from there. So, and we'll try to do it fast. Right. I don't know if we can pull up a timer or anything, but they can time you at home.
All right.
Question number 1. Are you ready? Round 1.
Yep.
Why is the sun so hot?
Because it's made of gas.
What are birds made out of?
Feathers.
How old is Jeff Dryden?
62.
What is Aiden's first word?
Dad.
Who stole the eggs?
Violet did.
Okay. All right, that's my 5. That's round 1.
That's good.
All right. Was it really Dad?
No, probably not. What diaper, I think it was.
Diaper? Okay.
Wet diaper.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, you ready? Okay, here we go. Favorite hockey player.
Wayne Gretzky.
Food that you despise.
Mushrooms.
If you were in a desert island, one person's that you would want to be with besides your wife.
Oh no, Jermaine.
The other kids, who cares about the other kids? Just Jermaine, right?
Sure.
Pen or pencil?
Pen. So.
Name of your favorite drink?
Shirley Temple.
Isn't that an actress?
Maybe. It's good stuff. Have you ever had one? You've had one.
No, I don't think I've ever had a Shirley Temple
I think
before.
It's right in like cherry, like the cherry stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I worked at a golf course where they served alcohol, but I was not old enough, so I had a Shirley Temple.
Did they put a little umbrella in it for you?
No, I just worked there.
Okay. I mean, if you're gonna have a Shirley Temple, you got to have like a little umbrella in it or something, I would think.
Yeah, I think that would make the experience a little better. But
yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Wait. I'm gonna change one of mine. It's too similar to a question you asked. We didn't even plan that. Close enough. Change it a little bit. All right, you ready?
That's fine. Yep.
On your mark, get set. What's the best sport?
Football.
What can I buy for $1?
Candy.
Where's the food?
In my refrigerator.
Who's the fastest child?
Oh, that's Miki.
What is Jell-O made out of?
Gelatin.
Gelatin. All right. Well done.
It is. It's made out of gelatin. You know what gelatin comes from?
I was curious. I wanted to know.
You know what gelatin comes from?
Do I want to know?
I think so. I think the students want to know also what they need to know what they're eating. It's bone marrow.
Mm-mm.
So yeah. Yes. Google it. Google knows all.
Bone marrow.
Bone marrow. Go ahead and write that down and Google it when you get a chance. Students, you can play at home. So when they make different foods from chicken or whatever, they don't want to waste anything, and so they said, what can we do with this with the bones? And so they ground it up and made it into a paste, and voila, you have gelatin. You know what's made out of gelatin? Marshmallows. That's serious. I am not joking.
I thought you were going to say sugar or something. Sugar would be real. I would be okay with you answering.
They add sugar, of course. They add sugar to everything. But I just want you to know that when you are at a campfire and you're making a s'more, I want you to know what you're actually cooking. Bone marrow.
Thank you.
Food for thought. Literally.
Bone marrow for thought.
Okay. Anyways.
All right.
Is it my turn?
I think so. All
right. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Worst dream ever.
Falling.
Wow, that was good. You said that one quick.
It's a pretty bad memory, pretty distinct.
If you had to go without a nose or without ears, which one and why?
I would go without nose because I like to hear things.
Okay.
I don't nose.
If you were to run, which animal would you run over? A dog and a cat, or a cat? Why?
Cat. People wouldn't care as much. They're smaller.
That one's good. Oh, that one's good. Okay, I'm sorry.
I love my cat. That's a disclaimer.
But
I wouldn't care.
I thought it would be like because you like dogs more, but no, it's because other people won't care as much. That's
the game's called Think Fast, right? That's what I.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Tell me a joke.
What did the corn get arrested for stalk? What? No. Why did the corn get arrested?
Oh, I wonder. For stalking.
Stalking.
Good. Okay. Here's the other one. How do you think this interview is going?
Great.
All right. Woo. Good. Excellent.
Oh man, that was your 5?
That was my 5.
All right. I guess we'll let the viewers judge whose was best, most humorous, or we didn't even lay out categories, but but that's one reason we wanted to have you on. Having fun. It's important to have fun during times like this in quarantine, and so that's one reason we're interviewing you. We wanna have a good time. You're stuck in quarantine too. Real quick, what's been something that's been challenging? Have you had to learn any new skills to cope with quarantine?
Yeah, to cope or just to be relevant as a pastor. Um, I've had to learn a few things, but a lot of it had to do with doing things like this where we're going online and doing Zoom calls and recordings and videos and stuff like that. So I've taken it upon myself to do a lot of like producing. And I mean producing in the sense of like creating video. I'm not like trying to act like I'm a movie.
Well, you are a movie star.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But learning that kind of stuff, learning how to edit videos and sound and all that other fun stuff. So, and it's actually something that I really enjoy. I'm not that good at it, but I'm learning it. There's a huge learning curve, but yeah, that's one thing where I've kind of dived into and it's been a blast.
Okay. So what do you think is like, I don't know, the next, like what's on the cutting edge of, I don't know, like this virtual kind of revolution? What's the next big thing while quarantine's still going on?
What's the next big thing? I don't know. The crazy thing is we don't know what's going to happen after this and how people are going to, if they're going to kind of bounce back and it's going to be like what it was before, or if people are going to diverge in some ways and maybe hold on to some of the habits that we've been doing these past couple of months.
Yeah.
And so it may make online stuff far more important and vital, which it's for me as an old fogey. This is kind of revolutionary where, the students in our youth group, they grew up with this. So, I mean, it's kind of ingrained into them already where this is actually still kind of foreign to somebody like me. So it's pretty interesting. And so the question is how to reach out to the young people through these forums and to share the gospel and share the love of Christ with them in this way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, you seem on the cutting edge, and so keep doing what you're doing. You're learning to cope, and that's actually, if you stay tuned, that's what our next segment here is all about. Survival skills that you've learned in quarantine.
Excellent.